When you decide to let go, it's important to understand that it's not about surrendering to defeat, but rather about embracing the profound act of release. Letting go isn't a sign of weakness. It's a deep, conscious decision that reflects strength and trust. There's a certain power in choosing to let go. It's a declaration that you're willing to step away from what no longer serves you, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. This power lies not in the act itself, but in the realization that there is more waiting for you beyond what you hold on to. Consider how we often spend our lives clinging to things, our possessions, our routines, our expectations, or even our identities. We hold on tightly to things we believe define us, things we believe are necessary for our happiness, or things we think we can't live without. But the truth is, this clinging is what binds us to the past. And when we live in the past, we block ourselves from truly experiencing the present. In the act of letting go, we make room for something far more meaningful. There is a freeing quality to releasing that which has overstayed its welcome. Imagine holding on to a heavy object for an extended period. At first, you may not even notice the weight, but over time it becomes burdensome. The longer you hold it, the harder it becomes to release. Yet once you let go, there's an immediate lightness, a feeling of relief that floods your being. It is this sensation we all long for, freedom. But how do we truly let go? It begins with accepting that we are not defined by what we cling to. We must trust that we are more than the sum of our past experiences, that we are not defined by the people we once were or the situations we once found ourselves in. When we accept this truth, we begin to understand that letting go is an act of self-liberation. It's about acknowledging that we are constantly evolving, and in that evolution, we don't need to drag the past with us. The past has its place, but it is not the place where we must reside forever. What happens then when we make this decision to release the past, the old patterns, and the attachments that hold us back? The answer is that we open ourselves up to infinite possibilities. The universe, which is in constant motion, always responds to our decision to let go. It isn't as if everything simply vanishes when we release it. No, it's a process. It's an ongoing journey of transformation, one in which we are both the creators and the witnesses. There is beauty in the space that is created when we let go. At first, it may seem as though nothing is happening, as if we have only created emptiness. But in reality, that space is filled with potential. What the universe does with that space is beyond our immediate understanding. It's like planting a seed in the ground. You can't see it immediately, but under the surface, it is slowly beginning to grow. What appears to be emptiness is actually a fertile ground for new experiences, new wisdom, and new growth. Letting go is not an event that occurs once and is done. It's a continual process. It's not as if there is a single moment where we can say, I've let go and now I am free. Rather, it's about continually making the decision to release what no longer serves us in every moment of our lives. Every day presents us with the opportunity to let go of something new. The beauty of life is that it is constantly in flux, and so are we. We must choose to flow with that change, to release the need for rigid control, and to trust that the universe will bring us exactly what we need when we need it. But to truly let go, we must first surrender the need for certainty. Many of us are conditioned to seek guarantees and to hold on to the illusion that we can control outcomes. This is a deeply ingrained habit in our society where success is often defined by the ability to predict and control every aspect of our lives. But the truth is that certainty is a trap. It's a limiting belief that keeps us from experiencing life's fullest potential. When we let go, we acknowledge that we don't have to have all the answers. We surrender the need to know exactly how things will unfold. And in that surrender, we find freedom. It's in the uncertainty that life's most magical moments arise. Those moments of serendipity, of synchronicity, where things align in the most unexpected ways. We don't need to know every step of the journey. We only need to trust that the journey is unfolding as it should. To let go also requires courage. It's not always easy to release what we've known, even if it hasn't been serving us. There is comfort in the familiar, even if that familiarity is tied to pain or limitation. Letting go requires us to face the unknown, to trust in the unseen, and to believe in something greater than ourselves. It demands that we face our fears, our insecurities, and the discomfort of uncertainty. But it's through this discomfort that we come to realize our true strength. For when we let go, we are no longer bound by fear. We are free to embrace the vastness of what the universe has to offer. And here's the most profound truth about letting go. The moment we release what no longer serves us, we open ourselves to receive what is meant for us. The universe responds to our openness. It cannot fill a space that is already occupied. If we are holding on too tightly to things, to people, or to past versions of ourselves, there is no room for the new to enter. But the moment we let go, the universe moves in to fill that space with opportunities, people, and experiences that are aligned with our true purpose. It's like clearing out a cluttered room to make way for new furniture. It's only when the old is gone that the new can arrive. Letting go, then, is an act of faith. It is the faith that the universe will respond, not in the way we expect, but in the way that serves our highest good. When we let go, we are trusting that something better, something more in alignment with who we are meant to be, will come our way. We don't need to know the details, we simply need to trust the process. So, as you stand here today, consider the things you are holding on to. What are you clinging to? Perhaps without even realizing it, that is preventing you from moving forward. What attachments are keeping you from experiencing the fullness of your life? And how might your world shift if you decided right now to let go? When we choose to let go, we are not always immediately aware of the grand design at play. The process doesn't often unfold in the way we anticipate or in the time frame we expect. And therein lies a crucial lesson. Life has its own rhythm, and part of the wisdom of letting go is learning to trust the timing of the universe. Often we want immediate results. We want things to happen right now, to see the fruits of our actions in the moment. But there is something infinitely more profound in understanding that the timing of our lives is beyond our control. And it is only when we surrender to that truth that we begin to move in harmony with the universe. We live in a world that often pushes us toward urgency. Our modern society is built around the idea that faster is better, that if we don't get things quickly, we have somehow missed the mark. We rush through our days, our work, our relationships, and our dreams, always striving for the next step. And yet, life doesn't always respond to our demands for speed. Sometimes we are called to wait, to pause, to reflect, to be still. And this stillness, although uncomfortable at times, carries with it profound opportunities for growth. When we let go, we are making a decision to release our tight grip on control. We are telling ourselves that we no longer need to force outcomes or manipulate circumstances to get what we want. It is in this act of letting go that we open ourselves to the possibility of true alignment with the universe. But alignment doesn't always happen instantly. Sometimes the universe requires us to trust that our desires are being worked on behind the scenes, even if we cannot see the process unfolding. Consider how nature works. Trees do not rush to grow. The process of growth is patient. The seed takes its time to sprout. The roots slowly take hold in the earth, and the tree grows at its own pace. Yet, despite this slow unfolding, it eventually reaches its full potential. The tree doesn't question the timing of its growth. It doesn't fret over how long it takes to become the strong, towering presence it is meant to be. It simply trusts the process. And perhaps this is one of the most valuable lessons we can learn, that trust in the timing of our lives. The universe responds in its own way, in its own time. This doesn't mean that we sit idly by and wait for things to happen. No, we must still take action. But we do so with the understanding that not everything will unfold according to our timeline. The more we resist this fact, the more frustrated we become. And frustration, as we know, is a powerful force that can cloud our judgment and skew our perception. We can find ourselves spinning in circles, pushing harder, exerting more energy, and yet achieving less, simply because we are out of sync with the natural rhythm of life. Trusting the timing of life requires a certain kind of patience. It requires us to step back and allow the process to unfold in its own time. It's a deeply personal experience, one that is often accompanied by moments of doubt and uncertainty. We may wonder if we've made the right decision, if the universe is even listening, if we're on the right path at all. But this is where trust becomes essential. Trust is the quiet knowing that everything will unfold as it should, in its own time. And trust also requires us to relinquish the need for certainty. We cannot possibly know all the details of how things will unfold, nor can we predict the exact outcome of our efforts. Life does not come with a blueprint, nor does it offer guarantees. It asks us to step forward with courage, even in the face of the unknown. We can set our intentions, we can make plans, and we can take inspired action, but we must also allow room for the unexpected to enter. The unexpected is often the universe's way of guiding us to something greater, something beyond what we could have imagined. Think for a moment about the moments in your life when things didn't go according to plan. At the time, you may have felt frustrated, disappointed, or even lost. But in hindsight, you may recognize that those very moments were the catalyst for something far better. The delays, the detours, each one may have led you to something that was more in alignment with your soul's true purpose. This is how the universe works. It sometimes steers us away from what we think we want because it knows that what we truly need is something else, something that we may not yet understand. The beauty of letting go and trusting the timing of the universe is that it invites us into a deeper sense of peace. It invites us to step off the hamster wheel of endless striving and simply be. It asks us to honor the fact that we are exactly where we need to be at this moment in time. It asks us to trust that our path is unfolding in a way that is perfect for us, even if we cannot see the full picture just yet. And this in itself is incredibly liberating. The universe's timing is not bound by human standards. What seems like a delay or setback might actually be an opportunity for something much greater. We might think that we have missed our chance, but in truth, the universe is preparing us for something more expansive. Perhaps we needed more time to grow, more time to heal, more time to gain clarity before the next step could be taken. Often, when we think we are running out of time, we are actually being given the time we need to prepare ourselves for the next chapter in our lives. When we trust the timing of life, we begin to let go of the pressure to force things into existence. Instead, we begin to allow life to unfold at its own pace, with a sense of ease and flow. This doesn't mean that we become passive or complacent. Far from it. We continue to show up for our lives, to take action, to follow our intuition, and to move forward. But we do so with an understanding that the universe is working in tandem with us, guiding us toward what is meant for us. This process of surrendering to the timing of life is not always easy. It requires us to have faith in something greater than ourselves. It asks us to let go of the need to control every aspect of our existence and trust that things are unfolding as they should. And while this may seem daunting at first, it is only through this surrender that we begin to experience true peace and alignment with the universe. So, as we continue on this journey of letting go, let us remember that the timing of our lives is a beautiful, intricate dance with the universe. The more we trust in the process, the more we align ourselves with the natural flow of life. When we let go and allow ourselves to trust the timing, we create space for miracles, synchronicities, and opportunities to emerge exactly when they are meant to. The universe is always responding, always working in our favor, even when we cannot yet see the full picture. When we decide to let go and trust the process of life, something remarkable happens. Our inner energy begins to align with the vast invisible forces of the universe. It is as though in that moment of surrender, we are entering into a deeper state of resonance with the world around us. This alignment is not a passive act. It's not about waiting for something to happen, nor is it about controlling the outcome. It's an invitation to co-create with the universe, to step into a flow where our desires are no longer just dreams, but seeds that the universe will help nurture and manifest. The law of attraction is often discussed in terms of bringing things into our lives by simply thinking about them. But it's so much more than just focusing on a desired outcome. It's about an energetic match between our thoughts, feelings, and actions, and the opportunities the universe presents. The moment we let go of our attachment to specific results, we begin to shift our energy. Our desire becomes less about forcing an outcome, and more about creating space for what is meant to come. This is the true essence of alignment. When we are in tune with our authentic self, we draw in experiences, people, and opportunities that resonate with that truth. Think of it like this: we are all vibrational beings. Everything we think, feel, and do emits a frequency that interacts with the frequencies of the world around us. When we are deeply aligned with our truest desires, our thoughts and actions naturally begin to resonate with the things we wish to attract. In that state of alignment, our intentions are no longer just wishes, but clear signals that the universe can respond to. But this requires us to be in a state of presence, to be open to the unfolding rather than trying to control every detail. There is something incredibly powerful that happens when we shift from a state of striving to one of surrender. In striving, we exert energy in ways that are often disconnected from the flow of life. It's a pushing, a forcing, a trying too hard. We become so fixated on the end result that we forget to enjoy the journey. But when we let go, when we release our grip on how things should unfold, we step into a state of flow, a flow that aligns us with the energy of the universe. And this energy is magnetic. When we are aligned with the universe, we no longer have to chase after what we want. Things begin to come to us. Opportunities, people, and experiences that match our vibration begin to present themselves in the most unexpected and serendipitous ways. It's as though the universe has been waiting for us to release our resistance so it could finally bring us what we need. It's not that the universe has been withholding from us all along. No, it's simply that we've been out of sync, caught in a rhythm of control and resistance. But the moment we align with the flow, the universe responds like a mirror reflecting our inner state. This alignment is not always instantaneous. It's a process, a journey of growth and learning. We may not immediately see the results we desire, but as we begin to release our attachment to the outcome, we also begin to experience subtle shifts within ourselves. Our inner peace increases. We feel more connected to our intuition. We find ourselves in the right place at the right time, and the things that seemed out of reach begin to appear before us. The universe's response is often quiet at first, but if we remain open and receptive, it becomes clearer with each passing day. To truly understand the depth of this alignment, we must first recognize that our desires are not separate from the universe. They are a part of us, an expression of our inner truth. When we let go, we stop seeing ourselves as separate from the flow of life. We stop viewing the universe as an external force that we must manipulate or control. Instead, we recognize that we are an integral part of the universe, and it responds to our energy with the same grace and care that we give ourselves. In this state of alignment, we no longer have to struggle. Struggle is born from resistance, from an unwillingness to accept things as they are. When we accept the present moment fully, we stop fighting against the current and begin to flow with it. This doesn't mean that we cease taking action. On the contrary, we act with clarity and purpose, but without the overwhelming need to control every outcome. We begin to trust our intuition, knowing that it is guiding us in ways we may not yet fully understand. And in this trust, we begin to attract the right opportunities, relationships, and experiences into our lives. As we align ourselves with the energy of the universe, we start to see patterns emerge, synchronicities that point us in the right direction. These are not coincidences, but signs that we are in harmony with the universe's flow. When we let go and release the need for certainty, we become more attuned to these signs. We begin to recognize that the universe is always communicating with us, gently guiding us toward the next step in our journey. It's like having a compass inside us that, once we release the need to control, begins to point us in the direction of our true purpose. Alignment with the universe requires patience. We cannot rush the process. We must trust that things are unfolding exactly as they should, even if we cannot yet see the full picture. There will be moments when it feels as though nothing is happening, when we wonder if our efforts are in vain. But this is where trust comes in. The universe is always at work, and sometimes the most profound shifts are happening beneath the surface. Like a seed buried deep in the soil, growth is taking place even when we cannot see it. And when the time is right, the seed will sprout, the flowers will bloom, and the fruits of our efforts will become clear. In these moments of alignment, we often experience a deep sense of peace. The anxiety and worry that once clouded our minds begin to fade. We start to realize that we don't need to have all the answers. We don't need to control everything. We only need to stay connected to our authentic self, to our purpose, and to the flow of life. And as we do so, we begin to notice that life begins to unfold effortlessly, as though the universe itself is conspiring to bring us what we need. This is the magic of alignment. It's the realization that when we let go and stop trying to force outcomes, we are able to step into a space of ease and flow. It's not about doing more, but about being more. It's about being present, being receptive, and being open to the possibilities that life has to offer. And when we do this, the universe responds in ways that are far beyond what we could have ever imagined. So, as we move forward in our journey of letting go, let us remember that alignment with the universe is not something we need to chase after. It's something that comes to us naturally when we stop resisting the flow of life. Trust the process. Trust that as you align with your true self, the universe will always respond in kind. The opportunities, experiences, and people you seek are already on their way to you. All that is required of you is to stay open and trust the journey. There is a unique kind of magic that comes with letting go. It's not just the act itself that is transformative, but the clarity and freedom that follow. When we let go, we create space, not just externally, but within ourselves. In that space, there is room for clarity to emerge, for insight to settle in, and for new perspectives to take shape. We often hold on to old thoughts, old emotions, old beliefs, not because they serve us, but because we are afraid of the unknown that comes with releasing them. The truth is, we fear the emptiness that might follow. But what we fail to recognize is that the emptiness is where new wisdom and opportunities will flourish. It's in the release that we discover the answers we've been searching for, and those answers are often so much deeper and more profound than we could have imagined. The act of letting go invites us to step into a state of pure potential. When we stop holding on so tightly to the things, people, and experiences of the past, we open ourselves to the vast unknown that lies ahead. This unknown can be unsettling, but it is also where our true growth occurs. It's like cleaning out a cluttered space. At first it might feel overwhelming, but once the clutter is cleared, there is a sense of openness and possibility. The clarity that follows the release is like a light shining through the fog, illuminating the path ahead, one step at a time. But clarity does not come immediately. It takes time, patience, and trust. When we let go of something or someone, there is often an initial period of confusion, of feeling lost or uncertain. This is natural. After all, we have been so attached to the old that the idea of stepping into something new can feel like stepping into a void. Yet this is exactly where the magic happens. In this space of uncertainty, we begin to listen more closely to ourselves. We hear the voice of our intuition, and we feel the subtle nudges that guide us toward new possibilities. As we create room within ourselves, by letting go, we allow the space for this guidance to surface. And when it does, it brings with it an extraordinary sense of direction. Many people hold on to things because they believe that what they have now is all they will ever get. They fear that if they let go, they will be left with nothing. This is a deeply ingrained belief that arises from a fear of scarcity. But the truth is, the universe is abundant, and there is always more. The more we release, the more we make room for the new to enter. And it is often in this newness that we find the answers we seek. When we let go, we are essentially saying to the universe, I am open to receiving whatever is meant for me. I trust that the right things will come to me at the right time. This trust is not blind faith. It's a deep knowing that the universe works in harmony with us when we allow it to. Take, for example, a person who decides to let go of a job that no longer brings them joy. At first, they may feel anxious or uncertain about the decision. How will they pay their bills? What will they do next? These fears are natural and part of the process. However, as they release their attachment to the old job, they begin to make space for something new to enter their lives. Perhaps they find an opportunity that aligns more closely with their passions, or perhaps they discover a new direction entirely, one that they could not have foreseen when they were holding on so tightly. In this space of release, clarity begins to emerge. The person becomes attuned to the possibilities around them, and the fear that once clouded their judgment dissipates. The release of old attachments often brings about a profound shift in perception. When we are no longer burdened by the weight of past experiences or relationships, we are able to see things clearly with fresh eyes. We stop viewing the world through the lens of what we have lost, and instead, we begin to focus on what is available to us now. This shift in perception allows us to step into a new way of being. We begin to view challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. We start to see ourselves as capable of navigating life's ups and downs with grace and resilience, and in this clarity, we find our power. It is through this process of letting go that we reclaim our personal power. We stop giving our energy away to things that drain us, to people or situations that do not serve us. Instead, we begin to direct our energy inward towards growth, towards healing, and towards the creation of a life that is aligned with our deepest values. In this space of empowerment, we are no longer at the mercy of external circumstances. We are free to create, to explore, and to live fully. However, this empowerment does not come without its challenges. The act of letting go is, in many ways, a courageous act. It requires us to confront the fear of change, to face the discomfort that often accompanies the unknown, and to trust that something better is on its way. It means stepping into the unfamiliar, and in that unfamiliarity, we often encounter resistance. This resistance can manifest in many forms: doubt, anxiety, fear of failure, fear of being alone. These are all natural responses to change. But it is precisely through this resistance that we grow. It is through facing our fears and moving forward anyway that we discover our true strength. Letting go also requires us to challenge the beliefs that have kept us bound to the past. We must question the stories we tell ourselves about who we are, what we deserve, and what is possible for us. These stories often arise from our past experiences, from things others have told us, or from societal expectations. But when we let go of these stories, we make room for new narratives. Narratives that are more aligned with our authentic selves, with our true desires, and with the life we are meant to live. In this process of unlearning and relearning, we step into a new version of ourselves, one that is free, expansive, and limitless. This is the beauty of letting go. It allows us to release the stories that no longer serve us, and to write a new story, one that reflects the truth of who we are and who we are becoming. It's not about erasing the past or pretending that it didn't happen. It's about acknowledging the past and then choosing to release the hold it has over us. It's about reclaiming our power and stepping into a future that is guided by our own vision, not the limitations of our past. In the end, letting go is a practice of trust. It's trusting that we are capable of navigating the unknown, that we are worthy of the new experiences and opportunities that are waiting for us, and that the universe is always working in our favor. And as we let go, we begin to witness the clarity, empowerment, and freedom that come with it. The answers we seek are not out there, somewhere in the future. They are within us, waiting to be uncovered in the stillness, in the space we create when we release what no longer serves us. The act of letting go not only opens the door to clarity, it also invites us to step into a profound sense of freedom. This freedom is not the absence of responsibility or the absence of challenges. No, it is a deeper freedom. The freedom to be who we truly are without the constraints of our past attachments or societal expectations. When we release our grip on the things that no longer serve us, we create the space to fully embrace our authentic selves, to live without the burden of trying to fit into molds that were never meant for us. It is in this release that we become truly liberated, and it is from this place of freedom that we begin to experience life with greater joy and purpose. So many of us go through life carrying invisible weights, attachments to past relationships, past failures, past identities, even the expectations of others. These weights often shape how we move through the world. They color our perceptions of who we are and what we are capable of. And while these attachments might have served a purpose at some point in our lives, when we cling to them for too long, they begin to limit our growth. They keep us tethered to a version of ourselves that is no longer relevant. It is through the act of letting go that we break free from these chains, and in doing so, we open ourselves up to a future that is not bound by the limitations of the past. One of the most powerful aspects of letting go is the ability to release the expectations we have placed on ourselves. So often, we carry the weight of what we should be doing, what we should have accomplished by now, how we should be living our lives. These expectations are not our own. They are often projections from external sources, society, family, friends, or even the ideals we have internalized over the years. And while these expectations might come from a place of good intention, they do not always align with our true desires. They can create an overwhelming sense of pressure, a feeling that we must live up to some standard that was never meant to define us. Letting go of these expectations is a revolutionary act. It's about giving ourselves permission to live according to our own truth, to honor our own pace, and to release the need for external validation. The freedom that comes with letting go is also the freedom to step into the unknown. It's easy to feel secure when we have a plan, when everything is predictable and controlled. But life, as we know, rarely unfolds according to plan. The more we try to control every aspect of our existence, the more we limit ourselves. The truth is, life is unpredictable, and it is in that unpredictability that we often find our greatest growth. By letting go of the need for certainty, we open ourselves to new experiences, new opportunities, and new ways of being that we could not have anticipated. It's as though, when we release our attachment to the familiar, we allow the universe to step in and guide us toward something greater. This freedom is also deeply connected to our inner peace. The more we let go of the things that cause us stress and anxiety, whether they are people, situations, or outdated beliefs, the more we begin to experience a sense of calm. This peace comes not from external circumstances, but from within. It's the result of releasing the things that no longer serve us, and in doing so, creating space for the things that bring us joy, fulfillment, and purpose. When we are no longer bogged down by unnecessary attachments, we can move through life with a lightness, an ease, and a deep sense of contentment. We become less reactive to the challenges life throws at us because we are no longer clinging to the outcome. We trust that no matter what happens, we will be okay. This inner peace allows us to navigate life with grace, knowing that we are always supported, always guided, and always able to find our way back to center. But freedom is not just a passive state of being, it is an active engagement with life. When we let go, we create space for new desires to emerge. We become more in tune with what we truly want, free from the noise of external influences. We begin to make choices that are in alignment with our deepest values, not based on what others think we should do or what society says is right. This freedom allows us to live authentically, to create the life we truly want, and to pursue our passions without the weight of judgment or self-doubt. It's about stepping into the fullness of our potential, embracing all that we are and all that we are capable of becoming. It's a liberation of the self, one that allows us to break free from the constraints of our past and to boldly step into a future that is shaped by our own choices and desires. In this space of freedom, we also discover that we are not defined by our past. So often we hold on to old narratives, stories about who we were or who we should have been. These stories can weigh us down, holding us back from fully stepping into the present moment. But when we let go of the need to live according to those old stories, we are free to create a new narrative for ourselves. We are no longer confined by who we used to be or what we once believed. Instead, we become the authors of our own stories, free to rewrite the chapters that no longer resonate with who we are becoming. This freedom is incredibly empowering, as it allows us to redefine our identity, to embrace the person we are today, and to step boldly into who we are becoming tomorrow. Letting go also allows us to be free from the fear of failure. So often, we cling to things because we are afraid of what might happen if we release them. We fear that if we let go, we will lose everything, or that we will fail in some way. But the truth is, failure is not something to be feared. It is simply a part of the journey, an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to evolve. When we release the fear of failure, we become free to take risks, to step outside our comfort zones, and to embrace new opportunities. This freedom to fail is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves, as it opens the door to true growth and transformation. We are no longer bound by the fear of making mistakes, but instead, we see mistakes as stepping stones on the path to success. The freedom that comes with letting go is ultimately about reclaiming our sovereignty. It is about remembering that we are the architects of our own lives, that we have the power to choose, to change, and to create. When we let go of the things that no longer serve us, we take back control over our own narrative. We are no longer passive observers of our lives, but active participants. This sense of sovereignty is not about exerting power over others or over circumstances, but about recognizing the power that lies within ourselves. It is the power to choose how we respond to life, the power to shape our own future, and the power to live authentically. This freedom, however, does not come without its challenges. Letting go is not always easy. It requires courage, trust, and the willingness to face the unknown. But the rewards are profound. When we step into this freedom, we are no longer confined by the expectations of others, by the limitations of our past, or by the fear of the future. We become free to be who we truly are, to follow our own path, and to create a life that is aligned with our deepest desires. And it is in this freedom that we find our true power. There is an inherent power in the act of letting go that speaks not only to our minds, but also to the deepest parts of our being. It is a power that lies dormant, waiting for us to embrace it fully, to recognize it, and to step into it. Letting go, when we do it consciously and with intent, becomes a process of aligning with the flow of life. It is a dance between what we are holding on to and what life is inviting us to release. The more we hold on to things that no longer serve us, the more we limit our capacity to receive. By letting go, we are saying that we are open to receiving whatever life has in store for us. But more than that, we are also giving ourselves the gift of stepping into a space where we can truly grow, where we can create, and where we can be in harmony with the rhythms of the universe. Life has a natural flow, a current that moves us forward. Yet we often resist this flow. We cling to what we know, to the past, to the familiar, even when it no longer nurtures us or serves our highest good. Our fear of the unknown keeps us anchored in places we've outgrown, and the longer we hold on, the more we restrict our own movement. In these moments of resistance, we find ourselves stuck, unable to move forward, unable to embrace the unfolding of our lives. But the moment we decide to let go, we are acknowledging that we no longer need to force things into existence. We no longer need to control every outcome or dictate how life should unfold. Letting go opens the door for life to work with us, rather than against us. It invites us into the natural flow of things, and in this flow we find the grace and ease that we so often seek. The moment we release our attachment to outcomes, we make room for the unexpected to enter our lives. Often, we want to control the trajectory of our lives because we believe that the future holds some kind of definitive success, some kind of idealized outcome that we've set for ourselves. But the truth is, success cannot be forced. The most meaningful outcomes in life arise not from pushing and striving, but from being in harmony with the present moment, from releasing the need to know exactly how everything will unfold. When we let go of our attachment to outcomes, we surrender to the wisdom of the universe and trust that whatever unfolds is exactly what we need. The universe has its own way of orchestrating events, and it does so with far greater precision than we could ever hope to achieve on our own. It is in this surrender that we align ourselves with the deeper currents of life, allowing us to move through the world with more grace and less resistance. But letting go also means relinquishing control over the stories we tell ourselves about who we are and what we can become. So many of us live our lives in the shadow of a narrative that we have written for ourselves, often based on limiting beliefs and past experiences. These stories shape how we see ourselves, how we act, and how we relate to others. But the problem with these stories is that they can become rigid and fixed. They define us, confine us, and keep us from expanding into the fullness of who we are meant to be. The act of letting go means stepping away from these old narratives and creating new stories. Stories that are not limited by the past, but are rooted in the possibilities of the present and future. In this space of release, we begin to recognize that we are not defined by our past mistakes, our failures, or the labels others have placed upon us. We are not bound by the identity we once held. Instead, we are free to redefine ourselves, to choose who we want to be in the present moment and in the future. Letting go of these old stories allows us to step into a more authentic version of ourselves, one that is not constrained by the beliefs and expectations that once shaped us. We begin to shed the identities that no longer serve us and embrace the person we are becoming, someone who is fluid, expansive, and open to growth. At the same time, letting go also requires us to relinquish our attachment to control. We cannot control the course of our lives, nor can we predict every twist and turn. The more we attempt to control life, the more we experience frustration and resistance. Life has a rhythm, a pace, and a flow that cannot be coerced. When we let go of the need to control every aspect of our lives, we begin to experience a kind of freedom that is both liberating and transformative. We stop trying to dictate what should happen next, and instead, we allow ourselves to be guided by the natural unfolding of life. This does not mean that we become passive observers, but that we become active participants in the flow of life, willing to let go of our preconceived notions and embrace the path that is opening before us. This act of surrender is not an act of weakness, but one of immense strength. It requires great courage to trust that by letting go, we are not losing control but gaining it. We are gaining control over our response to life, over how we navigate challenges, and over how we move forward in the face of uncertainty. Surrendering control means that we no longer allow the past or the future to dictate our actions. We become present, focused on the moment at hand, and fully engaged with the life we are living right now. We trust that in every moment we have the capacity to respond with wisdom, clarity, and grace, and that this will lead us toward the outcomes that are meant for us. In many ways, the decision to let go is the decision to trust life. We trust that life is always unfolding in our favor even if we cannot see it in the moment. We trust that we are being guided toward experiences that will help us grow, evolve, and become who we are truly meant to be. The more we let go, the more we create the space for life to show us its magic, its beauty, and its infinite possibilities. And in this trust we find peace. We no longer feel the need to push against the tide, to fight the natural flow of things. Instead we move with it, knowing that it is taking us exactly where we need to go. The power of letting go also lies in its ability to heal. So often, we hold on to past wounds, past hurts, and past traumas, believing that by holding on, we are protecting ourselves or preventing further pain. But the truth is, holding on only prolongs our suffering. When we release these old hurts, we create space for healing to take place. Letting go allows us to release the grip that our past traumas have on us, enabling us to move forward with a sense of wholeness and peace. It is in this process of release that we experience true healing, healing that comes not from forgetting the past, but from allowing it to be what it is and choosing to move beyond it. As we let go of the old, we also make space for new experiences, new lessons, and new people to enter our lives. The act of release is not just about letting go of what no longer serves us, but also about making room for what is yet to come. Life is a constant process of change, and by embracing this change, we open ourselves up to endless possibilities. When we hold on too tightly to the past, we prevent ourselves from stepping into the future. But when we let go, we step into the unknown with courage, knowing that it is in this space of uncertainty that the most profound growth occurs. Ultimately, the act of letting go is an invitation to live fully. It is an invitation to embrace the beauty of uncertainty, to trust the process of life, and to surrender to the flow that is guiding us. It is an invitation to release the stories that no longer serve us, to relinquish the need to control, and to step into a space where we are free to be who we are meant to be. And it is in this space that we find our true power. We find the power to create, to heal, to grow, and to live authentically. It is only when we let go that we truly begin to live. When we decide to let go, we are not simply releasing something from our grasp. It is not a matter of just letting go of a material possession, a relationship, or even an idea. What we are truly letting go of is the internal tension, the emotional weight and the mental attachments that have kept us from living fully in the present moment. The act of releasing is not passive. It is an intentional process that invites profound transformation. It is a process that is deeply connected to who we are at our core, a return to our truest, most authentic selves. And when we let go in this way, we make room for a powerful shift within ourselves, a shift that reverberates out into the world and invites the universe to respond in kind. In many ways, this is the essence of the relationship we have with the universe. We are co-creators in this vast and interconnected existence, and just as we release our attachments, so too does the universe respond to us. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, is constantly orchestrating events, opportunities, and lessons in ways that we cannot always anticipate or understand. But what happens when we let go of our resistance, our need to control, and our fears of the unknown, is that we open ourselves to these unseen forces. We align ourselves with the flow of life, creating a space where synchronicities, opportunities, and unexpected blessings can unfold naturally. It is as though, when we release our need for control, we are giving permission for the universe to work its magic on our behalf. There is a certain trust that comes with this release. It is not always easy to trust that everything will fall into place as it is meant to. We have been taught to fight, to strive, and to constantly push forward. And sometimes the idea of surrendering can feel like weakness or giving up. But in truth, surrendering is not about giving up. It is about letting go of the ego's need to dictate the outcome. It is about trusting that there is a greater plan, one that we may not always understand, but one that is always in motion, guiding us toward our highest good. This trust does not require us to have all the answers or to know the precise direction to take. Instead, it invites us to step forward with faith, knowing that as we let go, the universe will meet us halfway. This trust is deeply rooted in our understanding of ourselves. We must first trust ourselves, our intuition, and our ability to navigate the ever-changing landscape of life. When we let go, we are not abandoning ourselves. We are, in fact, acknowledging our own capacity for growth, resilience, and adaptability. Trusting the universe requires that we trust our own inner wisdom, knowing that we are capable of finding our way, no matter what twists and turns life may present. We let go of the need for rigid plans and allow ourselves to be guided by our own deep knowing, by the intuitive nudges that lead us toward what we need to experience, learn, and grow. The universe responds not by giving us what we think we want, but by providing us with what we need in order to evolve. We may not always recognize it at first, but the experiences, the people, and the opportunities that come our way after we let go are often precisely what we need to move forward. When we hold on tightly to what we think should happen, we block the natural flow of life. It is only when we release our attachment to outcomes that we begin to see the beauty of the universe's plan. The universe will always meet us with what we are ready for, and it is in our willingness to let go that we create the space for those gifts to enter our lives. One of the most profound ways the universe responds when we let go is through the alignment of people and situations. Have you ever noticed that when you finally release your attachment to something or someone, new connections seem to come into your life? New opportunities arise, new paths open up, and people who are aligned with your journey come into your orbit. This is the universe at work, responding to your decision to release and trust the process. When we let go of the things that no longer serve us, we make space for what is truly meant for us to come forward. It is as though the act of releasing clears a path, inviting new relationships, collaborations, and encounters that are in perfect alignment with where we are on our journey. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, brings us what we need when we are open to receiving it. This alignment is not always immediate, nor is it always clear in the moment. Sometimes the universe responds to our letting go by bringing us challenges, experiences that may seem difficult or uncomfortable at first. But these challenges are not obstacles, they are opportunities for growth. They are the universe's way of gently nudging us in the direction of our highest potential. These challenges teach us lessons, refine our character, and help us shed the layers of who we thought we were in order to become who we are truly meant to be. It is through these lessons that we begin to understand the depth of the universe's response to our release. The universe is not here to give us an easy path, but to give us the experiences that will allow us to fully embody our true selves. The universe also responds with a deep sense of peace and clarity when we let go. Often the act of holding on to something causes confusion, anxiety, and a sense of being stuck. We become overwhelmed by the weight of our attachments, and the path forward seems clouded by doubt. But when we let go, a remarkable thing happens. The fog begins to lift. We find that our minds become clearer, our hearts feel lighter, and our next steps become more apparent. This clarity is not something we can force or create through willpower alone. It is a gift that the universe gives us when we release the need to control every detail of our lives. By letting go, we clear the way for insight, inspiration, and guidance to enter our lives. As we continue to let go and trust the flow of the universe, we begin to notice more and more moments of synchronicity. We may meet someone at the exact moment we need them, hear the right piece of advice at the right time, or find that a solution to a problem emerges effortlessly. These synchronicities are the universe's way of showing us that we are on the right path. They are the gentle reminders that life is not random, but is unfolding in a way that is perfectly aligned with our growth and evolution. The more we let go and trust in the process, the more we begin to see these signs and symbols that affirm that we are being guided, supported, and cared for